Good evening. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna do a short stream today. I'm gonna hit the no limit 16 16NL tables. There are probably good tables and bad tables. In the regular tables, no limit 25 as well. So I might be on the lookout for those. 16% of players, 81 players in the no limit 16 pool, so definitely gonna open a table of those. A few players I do know. I have about 600 players on this one. He is actually, if I remember it correct, highest winning rec on the stakes on no limit 16. So he's in the pool too. A rather aggressive player, hard to play against. Then there are classic taggish players here like Ambits, of whom I only have 123 hands, so still early. There are a few lags which I color coded yellow, and a few unknowns too. This board is pretty darn bad for my hand, but well, for my range. I'm gonna bet it big, as most part of my range would do. There's actually only the give up option. If I do check on this board, it's so connected and high card driven, so when called here, I'm most certainly behind and can easily fold. Check call on this board is just bad, so c-bet is okay. I do also think the size is okay. I don't want to get called by pocket tens or something like that when I bet small. Pocket nines can be a 3-bet sometimes here on this table versus the ISO raise. I'm gonna go for it this time. Player is basically unknown to me. So we will see. The limper here could be a problem if he's all too loose and calling anything. We will often have a hard time versus two opponents with a hand like this one. Here I do have some equity on this board. If I bet, I'm gonna isolate myself versus better hands, which is probably bad. So while this guy here is actually committed, I do think that I have enough equity. And I'm gonna play it out versus him. Ooh, he flopped the set with pocket eights. Nice hand. We're almost dead here. Nice play of him. Although with a set, I do think that the raise or the bet size is a bit high. He could have made it smaller to incentivize worse hands to call. Let's check. The big blind folds very frequently. The small blind is unknown. Seems to be a light color in the blinds. Probably, we don't know. I seem to have no hot stats at all from him. Here the 3-bet from this guy, as it seems, versus button. In 3-bet the small blind one single time here, of course. The squeeze move is highly profitable here, as small blind's range is capped after the call. And my hand can't continue here. Do I 3-bet here? I could. When called on a flop like this, I do not really know what else than betting can be good here. I need to make a bet that is higher than usual in 3-bet pot because the board is so connected. We did get into a pot here versus an unknown player. No, not unknown. I have 200 hands on him. I actually didn't want to check here, but it's not that bad either because he will start betting a wide range of hands now on a turn. I might elect to raise if he bets because the board got somewhat scarier. When he makes it that big, I go for 3x. This is probably a polarization, a polarizing bet here, raise from me. He will need some goods here to continue. He will fold out a lot of worse hands, bluffs, air. And when he calls on that river card, it completes a gut shot with 7-8. Although I'm not sure if he might have called that. When checked here, I could probably have another value bet. But then again, I prefer to check back. Yeah. Not sure if a value bet would have been the right move there. Of course, I did take an unusual line with the check on the flop. That's the winning reg here. Stealing from the button. Gonna get out of his way. Mostly. I'm inclined to call here. I didn't see high 3-bet values in both the blinds. Now when he checks, I'm thinking about turning my hand into a bluff. But the board is probably not that good. I would have to bet rather high. I will, however, often see overcard to my pocket pair on the turn. And the check raise here was kind of written on the wall because the board is so scary, so probably should have chosen to not turn my hand into a bluff, because now what else than fold can I do? Do I have notes on him? 3-bet range button, 7, 8-7 offsuit, but also aces. Call 3 bets in position. Turn second barrel with pairs less than top pair. It's interesting. I do not have anything on check raises here, so there's a broad range of cards I can call versus a random open here. If it would be from a steal position, I'm leaning towards folding tight when the raise is from the earlier positions, because I do think I'm still often versus value here and would need to flop pretty darn good to not get slaughtered out of position. Could probably have missed an open here because he too folded versus open raises 100% in the big blind, when in the big blind. This time I will not steal with that hand. I probably could open King 10 suited, but King 9 is just too weak for me here. This is a regular table, mind you. That's why there's not so much fast action. Player in green open limps 22% of hands. But this player too open limps. I do not have any stats on him. Yes, he open raises small blind. I do think he still got all the 76%. And while I do not have the proper odds here to call, I might as well in position. He didn't see bet in position. Might stab at this river here, because the board pairing the queen is pretty darn nice. And I do have some showdown value with my ace high, but not a good kicker to it. So yes, I do lose. I should have bet there. I was thinking about if that hand on the river, while it has showdown value, if it's a holding that can bluff but doesn't have to, if it is a holding that must bluff, or if it's a holding that can never bluff. And here I have to say I probably should have bet, and bet a big amount, pot size, or even overbet. I do see bet here with a very mediocre hand, but both blinds are rather weak, so I do need to play out my position advantage. And it's a board with 2 high cards, 1 low card that fits my open raising range pretty well. So gonna have to see bet there. My pocket pair of twos, not my pocket pair of twos, my pair of deuces is just not strong enough to check it back and continue in a small pot. I kind of regret not having bet that river card there, because I do think calling was just the right decision. King deuce, gonna be a fold. Here we have one ISO raiser against the limper. It's only his second hand, but he limped the first one. He does limp the second one. I want to see if he limp calls to a reasonable ISO raise. Yes, he does. Very nice sizing here. Not sure if it's so connected. He should probably raise a monotone board with ace high in a higher value, to a higher value, like 3/4 pots or something, because now he might be behind against the flush, which he is. So pretty nice what people play. Limp, call 4.5, ISO raise with queen 3 of diamonds out of position. So good, I marked him green, and I hope to be able to play against him. But we have to mind you, the pool is over 80 people. 78. So we will not meet him every second hand or something. Not like to pre-choose fold in a big blind. It gives away a tell. So gonna think about the hands where I'm in the big blind at least. I might fold small blind to crazy. Fold ahead. Small blind to crazy betting actions like open raise and 3-bet or something like that. Ace 5 offs, no open raise. Oh, I want a 3-bet here. He folds 80%. When in the cutoff, he opens 36%. I do have 200 hands on him. Yes, I'm gonna 3-bet the king jack offsuit, knowing that it's not a prime hand that can stand the 4-bet. But I didn't see a single 4-bet from this player in 200 hands, so I do rather think he elects to fold. When 4-bet, I can easily fold. Might have to look into my own stats. 3-bet and then fold to 4-bet. With an open razor small and so much action here, the hand that is connected, offsuit but connected, middle cards, I will of course complete. I can close the action and I might even flop something decent from time to time. But great pot odds are making the call mandatory, I think. I will not bluff into 3 players without even having the initiative pre-flop, so this is gonna be a hand that I cannot win on showdown and will not stab at. Wide awake. Only 20 hands, no reads possible here. Gonna fold that one. I see pretty interesting values here from this player. Probably enough to color code him a lag. We will see if I even have to change that. How are the 3-bet values here?